Hello, everybody. Today is Thursday, and it's actually the 18th. Yesterday was Wednesday. I said it was the 16th. I can't keep track of dates or days because I'm on different missions that require different pathways of feeling and thinking and accessing. So really, the date and time doesn't matter to me. But I'm doing date and time today because we're coming up on some amazing waves of energy. Amazing waves of energy. And how we can best integrate them. So, if your jar is already full of stuff, you can't fill it with more stuff till you empty out the other stuff, right? Sorry, they're talking to me and guiding me here because there was a couple different topics they wanted me to be on. So in order to empty, we have to look at what's in there and decide what it is that we're going to empty out of that jar before we fill it with something new. So the jar, of course, is a metaphor for our body and our energy fields. And it has been filled with things that we want and desire, and things that we do not want and desire. So how do we look at all that? And then where are we in this moment on our own wants and desires? Do they pertain with where we're moving forward from this now moment? So the guides were going in this morning and they were showing me the interesting thoughts and pictures about viruses. So when I first learned about viruses through anatomy and physiology, gosh, 20 some years ago, I thought, those little effers, they're like little mini brains, man. They're like ninjas. What they do is like insane to most brains, okay? So with that being said, let's talk about other invaders, other parasitic invaders, energetic invaders. And how many of them get in because we don't know about them. And then maybe when we have a hint of knowing about them, maybe we don't know how to expunge them, so to speak, exit out of us. Maybe we don't have the tools to do that, so we run and hide and ignore it, right? So then the guides were showing me pictures of, like, you know, you're in grade school and you have a spelling bee and one person wins the spelling bee because only one person can win, right? Didn't matter who else was close. But the others that didn't win the spelling bee, some of them get very anally frustrated. Because the only way to succeed is to be the winner. And so those people that didn't win will begin to study harder and make it be their mission to win. Now, this goes on through sports, through excelling in your jobs, through being a captain of a team, being a leader of a group, running for political office, whatever it is. You're going to have those who want to compete against you and then are not happy with you if you won. And so you'll also have, they were showing me like sports teams and how one sports team will study in detail about the other sports team. What's the purpose of them doing that? So they can find out every strength and every weakness so they can beat it all. So it's an energetic thought process. It's a physical thought process. And you're living and breathing how you're going to overcome that team. And it becomes an obsession. And that's what a lot of these little virus bugs do. That's what they do. And that's a lot of what these little energetic buggers do that we want to call dark agendas. So if our jar is full of agendas that we may not have chosen for ourselves, we have to ask ourselves, how do we expunge and eliminate and release all the things that we didn't choose for ourselves? Things that may have encapsulated areas of ourselves that keep us from progressing, keep us from being the best that we can be. Now, we all know that the worst enemy is the invisible enemy. And we don't want to put ourselves in a position where we're in rigid resistance. Like, I'm going to find you little effers and I'm going to fight you. No, we don't want to do that. What we want to do is we want to go into whatever our energy fields are to you, physical bodies. And we want to claim that sovereignty, that these no longer serve us, that all cords, contracts, everything is eliminated. It's eliminated through releasing, through forgiveness. It's whatever I may have agreed to or didn't agree to. Whatever that is, I don't need to see it all. I want to forgive it. I want to bless it. I want to give it love. And I want a complete do-over. In order to have a do-over, y'all have got to go. So you can do this in your own little sacred ceremony. You can do this by commanding it throughout the day. Because, the God source power, that divine light, rules everything. It's just, you got to learn how to wield it. You got to learn. You got to understand and own that power that you have. So you got to clear some of these viral parasitic invaders that have and will try to leech upon you, especially the more you rise. The higher you rise, the larger the crowd to keep you down. Now that's just how it is, And people will try to do everything to trip somebody up so that you're not the winner and they are. And we have example after example after example of that on the surface of this earth every day that have been exposed, right? So not only do you have the analogies and the stories of things that have been exposed, you're also having those come out like me and others who are saying to you, there are beings that are not for your highest good. And that you got to tune in. And you got to not engage that by being fooled or deceived. And so that requires action of being at attention on your daily trek. Don't worry about winning the war. Learn how to be in the daily configurations that are placed in your life. I'm being careful here because wars are won by all the mini battles, right? But I don't want to call it a battle, because when you call it a battle, you call it it just doesn't need to be fed. That word just doesn't need to be fed. It just doesn't. So I can't stress enough how to align through drop, stop, sit, connect with the breath. Tap into your heart center. Because every time your frequency drops into not paying attention or into denser energies, you are now a wide open petri dish. You're a wide open petri dish. And if you don't know what that is, that's a dish with, I believe it's lamb's blood, but it collects things that show if something, a swab if you use it, or a sample of something, if it grows a certain something, it shows, and they can help diagnose you. But you're an open petri dish to be fed upon by everything of everything. Okay? So you want to keep that closed and not allow that or anyone having the opportunity to slip in when you're not paying attention. And fill your jar full of stuff that you have no idea was even in there. So they've been saying to me that this is truly about being on the daily path, and being conscientious of your thoughts and your energy and what you're allowing to come in and what you're allowing and expecting to come out of whatever it is that you're allowing to come in. And so in the allowing of the present awareness through the heart center, you are basically shielding yourself from the unwelcomed. You're shielding yourself from the unwelcomed. It starts with you. It starts with your energy field. It is your full-on responsibility. It's your number one mission, 24/7, to breathe the breath of the highest good of harmony and balance, to stay on your path, This takes action and takes strategy. It isn't la, 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 skip to my loo, blah, blah, blah. It takes conscientious action to align yourself all day long and to wear the cloak of love, to be the walking cloak of love for the divine. So take some time to shed off all of the antennas and attachments that are in you, on you, around you. Command it, declare it so. Fill yourself with the golden Christed consciousness of being aware of everyone is one, and the one starts with you. And once you begin to do that, you'll see that you're clearing the path so that new vibrational frequencies of that type of love can flow inward. Because you're unclogging all the pipes and the pathways from the past. You're letting it all go. Belief systems, things that you've been taught. Simply start from scratch. Clear it out, command it so, and then begin to dialogue and write your daily destination and how you want to feel and the things that you want to achieve in that day. In that day, don't get so ahead of yourself, because each day is going to mount to higher, brighter, loving vibrations and getting you closer and closer to the God spark elements that you are. And then you'll be able to see through the veils and the dimensions. You'll be able to receive more messaging. You'll think twice before you put something in your mouth. You'll think twice before you open your mouth and allow something out of it. You'll begin to think twice about your thoughts. You'll begin to think twice about who you're hanging around, what you're allowing in, who you're listening to. And you'll begin to think twice about all energetic exchanges with all things. So be prepared for the change and embrace it by just simply staying in the day. Don't get so ahead of yourself. You get ahead of yourself, you trip and you fall. Reel it back in to this second, this millisecond of this blessed moment that you have an opportunity to redo. Set your calendar timer every day, your calendar timer every day, your calendar timer every day to connect with that vibration. And the more you do it, it will become an autonomic and automatic set because your feelings are going to feel it immediately. And when old habits come in, like a thought or out of your mouth or with your body or honk honk with your horn or, oh, that cake looks good, I'm going to have a 4x4 of it, whatever it is, you'll stop and think. You'll step back into the body. And then you're going to feel, and then you're going to forward think that this moment, everything that I take in affects my next moment. How do I want to feel in my next moment relies on how and what I do in this moment. Breathe with that. Breathe with that. This is a very powerful message. I am asking each and every one of you to like it, comment on it, subscribe, and to share this video with everyone. Because the energies that are coming in are so beautifully amazing. And so that they don't knock you over and interfere with all these blockages that you have going on, take a moment or minutes or whatever ceremonial time you want and release all the old junk so that you can truly, truly be blessed and understand these frequencies better. All right? Much love.